20.
This camp, I'm spending more time with my conditioning coach, Barry. I think that's paying dividends already. In the gym, I'm working with Paddy. He was there in the first fight, and he had limited time, and he didn't really want to come in and add too much or change too much. This time round, we've had a much longer, longer period to prepare for this fight. He's much more involved. We spent a lot more time together, so he's been giving much more input. We've been learning new things in the gym, and he knows even more about me and about my style and the way I fight.
We have a good camp behind us. We have a lot of trust built up over what happened in the first fight. We've had more time to get to know each other this time round, so I think it'll make a big difference.
A terrific shot, yes, more, another one, and three more. And this is big stuff from George Groves. Huge right hands.
He has outfought Carl Froch in that burst. He completely outfought him.
You've only got to look at the first fight to know who the better fighter is. I'm quicker than him. I punch hard enough to hurt him. I beat him in every aspect, absolutely every aspect. I'm coming off the back of a loss. He's coming off the back of a beating, and the most horrific beating he's had in his whole career, and I totally dominated him from start to finish, and the referee stopped the fight for no reason.
There's things we need to do better. I wouldn't say there's anything we need to change. I think it was a pretty dominant performance. Carl had success too, but I think overall George was in control for the majority of the fight. It's going to be hard for Carl, because what he's got to admit is that what George brings as a man, he can't deal with. He can't deal with George as a man. We're not expecting Carl to lose this fight, we're expecting George to win the fight. Everything else that we're doing is for a reason. It's for to play part of this game. I'm a fan of Carl Froch's, man. I've loved watching all these fights. I'd watch him shadowboxing. He's exciting, isn't he? He's exciting. But he's meeting a better man. What's the harm in that?
We're trying to work towards perfection. We don't ever expect to be perfect, but as close to perfection as possible is what we're craving. I'm always trying to just think about me. And that's something that Paddy taught me and something that Paddy encourages. If I'm doing what I need to do, it doesn't matter about anyone else, because they won't be able to live with me. I probably will win it before we ring walk. His only way of getting by for this fight is to ignore me. But you can't ignore me because I'm here, and you can't ignore me on fight night because we're fighting. Some people might think, oh, Carl Froch is focused this time. He wasn't focused the first time. He was dancing on shows with his wife. He wasn't taking it seriously. Maybe they'll think that, oh, I look at the first fight and it was so one-sided, it was so easy that I take my eye off the ball for this fight. The best Carl Froch shows up and the best me shows up. I still beat him every round, so I've got to be the favourite.
Back to the start. Back to the start again. Now go. Back to the start. Back to the start again. Go back to the start. Before I lose my mind.
I'm spending a lot more time in Sheffield at the training centre with Rob and less time at home. That's a significant change between last camp and this camp. I quite enjoy spending time at home in the comfort zone around my beautiful partner Rachel and my two kids. So, I'm starving myself of that pleasure, if you like, by keeping away from them and roughing it here in Sheffield and staying here so I can maximise my training.
Just either put threes and fours together now or a little feint.
He seems fully focused. He understands that, George Groves is a threat. He probably didn't fully understand that for the first fight, which in some ways could be understandable considering the level that Carl's boxed at for 6 years. And he understands now that Groves is a good fighter, so he's a challenge.
I know what I need to do, and I always do that. Having said that, I'm a human being. I'm guilty of taking my foot off the gas a little bit in the last fight, physically and mentally. That's my own stupid fault, I've got no one else to blame but myself for how I prepared for the last fight. But I won't be making the same mistake again.
George Groves, timing perfect. Froch on the floor for only the second time.
It was a decent shot, but it was against me coming square on, doing everything wrong. I launched myself in with a silly right hand that was never going to land. I think it half landed. If he'd have thrown a jab, I'd have gone over, I'd have hit the floor because I was totally out of sync and off balance. But it just so happens hit with a good right-hand counter-punch. You know, it was well-timed, it was a good shot, accurate, a lot of power on it. And I hit the deck, but I got up, and that's what's important.
The first thing he said when he came back at the end of the first round was, I know what I've done, just tell me what I've got to do. And that's exactly what he asked me to tell him. And that's what I did. And, you know, it was a torrid first 4 or 5 rounds. There's no doubt about it. And he knows he's a threat. So he's fully switched on for that threat now.
I think Froch needs to finish it here.
He really does. Groves is in trouble. He's taken another one and another. And Howard Foster has stopped it. Wow, that is going to be controversial.
I think Howard Foster did the right thing. I think he made a very good decision in stopping the fight because the safety of the fighter is paramount. So he did what he felt right with his experience, professional judgment. It's sport. It's what makes sport fantastic. And let's not forget, this is why we're here in a massive rematch. I could understand the boos. I could empathise. I've been to boxing matches and paid hard-earned cash when I'm skinned and thought to myself, oh, come on, let the fight go on. What you stop that for? What's going off? And you're annoyed and you're frustrated and you feel shortchanged. It's not my decision. You want to blame me, but I didn't stop the fight. Psychologically, I'm always in a good place. I'm very confident. He got 50, 60% of Carl Froch. So I take a lot of confidence from the fact that my worst performance still beats his best performance, you know, and that's the fact. I give George Groves his chance already, and he wasn't able to do anything about it. You know, he lost the fight. He lost the first fight fair and square. I'm giving him another go because he got himself made mandatory with the IBF. I'm going to stop George Groves, whether it be by knockout or whether the referee jumps in again. Could be a demolition job. Look out for that one.